more than I used to. And I was reading the book of Isaiah in the first chapter, and it talks about the nation that was rebellious, and how it was likened into Sodom and Gomorrah. And I think about the way things are, and my son, my youngest Christian, called me the other day, and I had that dreadful conversation that a mother never wants to have with their child, and that's the, Mom, I'm a man, and I'm an adult, and he was my baby, so I kind of held on to that. And then, but I thought about, I didn't have to think about all the craziness that goes on in schools then that happens today. And it saddens me because I have the power and might, and they're such beautiful children, and they know the Lord, and I thank God for that, because there's so many kids that don't. There's so many people that don't tell their kids about God, and I thank God for they absorb everything. And I've always said, well, I thought I was teaching them, they're really teaching me. And y'all know I write poems a lot. I feel that's my part of my ministry, or a gift, if you will, that I can't really explain how I write, but I have a thought come into my mind, and I can walk through my mind in whatever it is that I'm writing about. Excuse me. And I begin to write, and it flows. I don't know how to explain it. It's just something that it just flows out of me, and then I read it, and it's a poem, and it's beautiful, and I know what it means. And a while back, I usually share with my mom. I send them to her on her inbox on Facebook, and I had wrote this poem. Now, this was before the tornado. I'm actually going to read it. I wasn't going to, but I'm going to. And it says, the angel stood in heaven's gate, watching down below, as chaos filled the tiny school's children running to and fro. Debris flying, children crying, alarms echoed down the hall. Tears filled their eyes to their demise as the enemy took their souls. Little tiny bodies laid in a pool of blood, and the angels turned to God and said, what is it you have done? Surely these children did not deserve a death so harsh and cruel. Why did you let this happen, God, inside this little school? A tear did fall down his cheek, his heart so pained within. He said, I wanted so bad to help them, but they wouldn't let me in. We took God out of the schools. And until we decide to put God back into the schools and back into the nation, and as Christians, we should always promote that. I feel like we should tell our children, I'm not saying that this has anything, this is just how God deals with me. It wasn't anything personal to anybody, but that's how God deals with me. And I feel like I'm just glad when we had this conversation the other day, I was just thinking how I'm so glad that he's already an adult. But I feel like we should, with the kids up there singing, I thank God that there's Christ is in their heart. And I think that we should pray for our nation and our children.